welcome to Tarmac. Today I'm crammed behind the wheel of the new Cooper S Mini, or Mini Cooper S. But this is no normal Mini Cooper S. This is the EV version. So it's fully electric and, I don't know, charged and ready to go. So let's go and take a look around this one. The new Mini Electric marries familiarity with the futuristic. It's still unmistakably the Mini we've grown to love on the outside, but also with unique yellow design elements around the grille, the aerodynamic wheels, the badging and the mirror caps. It really is a whole new vehicle. It's still 3.85 meters long and 1.43 meters tall. But the observant among you will notice that there's no exhaust pipe. The boot space is 211 litres and it's still got those amazing Union Jack tail lights. But what's different is under the bonnet. It's got an electric motor that delivers 135 kilowatts and 270 newton meters of torque. It takes the Mini EV from 0 to 100 in 7.3 seconds, yet still emits zero CO2s. The interior is unmistakably Mini 2, just in case you were wondering. So the PR agency thought it would be a great idea for us to, I don't know, go into town, have a spot of lunch, you know, charge it in and just make sure, you know, have a bit of a city sort of look at it. But, you know, who really wants to just plug it in and go for lunch? So, sorry PPR, but we're going to take this car for a drive. Sounds good. Okay, despite what certain politicians with orange hair may believe, I mean, it's hard to dispute the fact that the world seems to be hotting up. It's global warming has got to be a thing, and we have to do something about it. New Zealand itself is kicking out 80 million tons worth of CO2 gases per year, and we're supposed to be a green country. So it makes sense for car companies to be producing electric vehicles. I mean, the CO2 emissions alone should really negate anything to do with exhaust gases. I don't know. But does a car have to be boring? Does it have to be something that, I don't know, an Uber driver would pick you up in and, I don't know, just looks plain or just looks and drives boringly? Well, introducing the Mini EV. The Mini EV does look like a Mini, aside from its green parts and green tinges. It feels like a Mini. I mean, you sit inside it, it's compact, it's, you know, it's not as small as the old Minis, but I'm not going to go into that conversation. But it's just new Mini Cooper S-ish as it should be. And then you put it into sport mode and it just picks up and drives quickly. It drives like a Mini should. It handles like a Mini should, which is a great thing. I mean, Minis are known for their go-kart appeal and their, I don't know, the way they dance around corners, and this one is no different. I mean, it's tight, it's quick, it's low to the ground. I don't know, it just feels lovely. It feels like a Mini. The strange thing is there's no sound. I mean, there is that odd sound on startup, and you know, there's a little bit of whine from the motor when you hear things going, but it doesn't sound like a Mini, a Cooper S. It doesn't sound like anything. It sounds like an electric vehicle, which funnily enough it is. The steering feels the same, the positioning feels the same, the buttons feel the same. This one comes with a sunroof, comes with all the all the refinements that are coming with the new brand or new BMW branded Mini, and there's plenty there. But then there's just that electric motor, that lack of sound, that lack of emissions, that lack of anything. But what it has gained is, I don't know, a kind of a arguably a more exciting drive, because you don't have to worry about the sounds, but you still feel the acceleration. And yes, you do feel the acceleration. Its 0 to 100 figures are great. The fact that it lays it down immediately, though, is sort of, I don't know, changes how you feel that the speed is. It's odd, but because it's instant torque, it just picks itself up and drives quickly, and it hugs the road. It hugs it nicely. Excellent. You can click through a couple of the settings here and see how your driving is, see if you're accelerating right or anticipating braking, which is, well, anticipating corners. So all you do is then, when you're in green or green plus mode, the moment you let off of your accelerator, it starts to brake for you, which then adds more power. The little switch down on the center column here can change your brake levels, or how hard it brakes, which is obviously how hard the energy recovers. So you can push it down to be hard. When you let off, it brakes quite reasonably, or the recovery is quite hard, or you can push it again and it'll just slowly rejuvenate the air power. So just depends on how heavy you want to recharge the batteries, or how much you want to brake out the back. It's pretty cool. They're saying it's over 200 kilometers per hour fully charged. I picked this one up with about 170, and then just heading down the motorway I got it up to 173, so it actually gained as I was driving. And that, well, yeah, it was just going down the motorway and feathering things, but it's kind of funny to be gaining in power, gaining in range when you're driving. It makes no sense. Also, when it's in green plus, your acceleration response is less, or it lets you ease the power on, so you're being more conservative with the power and therefore dragging it down less. Moving up to green, and your acceleration is just a little bit more instant. Not as instant as you go into mid, or when you go into sport. I love it. The dials are big. It leaves you in no doubt as to what range you've got left. So the anxiety goes. I mean, 173 or 200 kilometers is quite a fair amount, and when you think about Kiwis, their average commute is around about 20 k's or even up to 40 k's per day. I mean, this is almost a week's worth of play. And also, when you're out in the weekends, 200 k's, it'll get you to the beach and back, or get you into the city to have that lunch that has been promised by the PR agency. I may just take them up on that. I've had a quick chat with Mini New Zealand, or one of their sales agents, and they're saying that they've sold out of their first load, and they'll probably sell out the next load as well. And I can see why. It tugs on the heartstring of doing the right thing, but still has that fun Mini feel. Excellent. So there you have it, the new Mini Cooper S EV, or electric Mini, whichever way you want to call it. It's still got that brilliant, I don't know, mini go-kart feel that we've grown to know and love for, I don't know, decades now. And yeah, it's got a social conscience as of not emitting any CO2. So a great all-rounder. Did I miss having lunch? Nope, and nor did my belly. It was a great drive. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe. It will be somewhere around here. And come along and join us on the next one. See you.